Old European is the term used by Hans Krahe for the language of the oldest reconstructed stratum of European hydronymy in Central and Western Europe. The character of these river names is pre-Italic, pre-Germanic and pre-Celtic and dated by Krahe to the 2nd millennium BCE. Geography. Krahe writes in A1, Chapter 3, introducing preface. Number 2 that the Old European hydronymy spread from Scandinavia to South Italy, from Western Europe including the British Isles to the Baltic countries. Of the 3 Mediterranean peninsulas, Italy was most completely included, whilst the Balkan Peninsula was only scarcely covered. He writes that what he presents for hydronymy also applies to mountains and ranges of mountains, and continues with Carpathian and Karawankan. Certainly within the Slavic settlement area, omitting the Bavarian, Austrian Coawindil, though, this area is associated with the spread of the later Western Indo-European dialects, the Celtic, Italic, Germanic, Baltic and Illyrian branches. Notably exempt is Greece. Krahe located the geographical nucleus of this area as stretching from the Baltic across western Poland and Germany to the Swiss plateau and the Upper Danube north of the Alps, while he considered the old European river names of southern France, Italy and Spain to be later imports, replacing Aegean, Pelasgian and Iberian substrates, corresponding to Italic, Celtic and Illyrian invasions from about 1300 BCE. Origins of names. Krahe continues in 3a5. Geographic area and age of the Paleo-European hydronymy, that the overwhelming majority of river and stream names originate from words which in the historical single languages cannot be found or cannot be found anymore. He uses mainly Indo-European roots to allow the river names in question to speak, of which more than 10,000 are listed. In 3a2, Etymology and Semasiology of the Paleo-European river names. Krahe states that the oldest strata are composed by prerequisites of nature and that the river names especially refer to the water itself, and that words referring to humans and culture are newer. Both rules are important arguments for considering the old European hydronymy of southern France and the north of the Iberian Peninsula as a result of secondary implementation due to a postulated immigration around 1300 BC, in Morphology of Paleo-European river names. 3a1 Number 3, Krahe concentrates on suffixes and distinguishes 11 different ones in a table. He attributes geographical, functional or temporal functions to the suffixes of the river names. For the temporal function he claims the existence of a system of phonetic changes. However, he does not include prefixes in his considerations. Krahe's concentration on Indo-European roots and the omission of prefixes had serious negative consequences, because ever later focus was placed on those more than 10,000 roots, perhaps on Old Irish, but scarcely on Gaulish and actual Celtic languages or Baltic languages, and completely leaving out Basque. Delamar later included, for example, under Gaulish Dobron only rivers with B, leaving out other names, which Krahe would have called Schwindstuf equals loss of a letter with inversion of letters or both. Krahe ignored the impact of Moorish occupation in Spain, which led to frequent combinations of Arab prefixes on Celtic suffixes as seen in Guadiana. The tables and LT comparison Old European hydronyms and GT show that, in contradiction to Krahe's opinion, hydronyms can in some cases very well be explained even by modern Irish, Welsh, or French, and certainly by Gaulish. Krahe's influence on other scientists. Krahe has influenced archaeologists, linguists and particularly experts in Celtic languages. Maria Gimbutas studied in Tübingen and received her doctorate of archaeology in 1946 in the same department where Krahe lectured. Gimbutas developed the Kurgan theory. Jürgen Antomin, a disciple of Krahe with dissertation 1954 in Tübingen, was professor for comparative linguistics at the University of Cologne. He was an epigraphist and Indo-Europeanist. Antonio Tovar, with preliminary studies in Berlin, later professor of the University of Salamanca, was professor for comparative linguistics in Tübingen from 1967 to 1979. Together with Manuel Agard and Koldo Michelena, he prepared an unedited, etymological dictionary of the Basque language. Michelena was only the creator of the modern Basque language. Other authors with a focus on or touching on the topic Old European hydronymy are: Xavier Delamare was a French linguist whose standard work is Dictionnaire de la langue gauloise, with the modest title Une approche linguistique du vieux Celtic continental. This is in fact the most comprehensive publication on Gaulish words. Slightly more than 800 terms appear in alphabetical order derived from Gaulish Greek, Gaulish Etruscan and Gaulish Latin, are solely Gaulish inscriptions, printed classical languages, coins and some terms of Celtic substrate in Occitan. He presents all cases of appearance of toponyms and hydronyms in question, cites authors and roots, showing alternatives, and classifies, if necessary, as uncertain or questionable. He shows all river name examples with prefixes. For example, see comparison of old hydronyms, adding water, clear, hard stone, etc. The German linguist Theo Veneman suggested in 2003 that the language of the old European hydronyms was agglutinative and pre-Indo-European. This theory has been criticized as being seriously flawed, and the more generally accepted view is that hydronyms are of Indo-European origin. The Spanish philologist Francisco Villa-Liabana argued in 1990 for the Old European preserved in river names and confined to the hydronymic substratum in the Iberian Peninsula as yet another Indo-European layer with no immediate relationship to the Lusitanian language. However, the idea of Old European was criticized by Untman in 1999 and Ahoz in 2001. Villa-Liabana is a supporter of Gimbutas against the theories of Colin Renfrew. In his work, Indo-Europeos y no Indo-Europeos en la Hispania Preromana, he presents a 9-root series and a few more collective series, mainly of toponyms but also including hydronyms. For example, in Chapter 4b7, Liabana discusses hydronyms of the series Uba, starting with Moraine Uba equals modern Velezan with the same name affluent of the Barates equals Guadiamar, Solduba. He compares modern rivers like Ubia over Fonte dos Ovos with, amongst others, the Danube, and with historical Corduba. Wherever Ubia appears, like in the rivers Saruba equals actual Sar, an affluent of Mosul, Spanish Fuente Sarobals, Sarubian. He acknowledges only Ubia and not the root Dan in Danubius of the root Sar in others, which all are Indo-European roots. Examples: the map on the right shows Old European hydronymic maps for the root *var*, *ver, and *sal* are not shown. Another example is the old river name Isar, Isar and GT, Isar, Isar and GT, Bulgaria, Isar and GT, Huas, Isar and GT, Uran, Isar and GT, Jazeera, Isar and GT, Air, Isar and GT, YSER, Isar and GT, Ezaro, Isar and GT, Isera, Isar and GT, Isaran, Isar and GT, SRO, Isarco and GT, Isaac, Isan R and GT, Isias, Israelam and GT, Israelo, little Izar,